We got to get some work done. I'm telling you, y'all been messing around way too much. Just playing. All y'all do is play.
Y'all ready?
Good morning, T-Fade. Today, we got to get some work done. I'm telling you, y'all been messing around way too much. Just playing. All y'all do is play. We got to get this windshield back in, and getting the truck prep is probably been the hardest part so far. So I had to go back and scrape all the, I got into the truck here a little bit. Scrape all the old urethane off, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but on everywhere but the vertical runs, the razor is bigger than, so I had to kind of come at an angle here, and then up here I was getting all up on the headliner. I couldn't get any ass on it. Anyway, it's kind of annoying, but it's done. I wiped it down, and now I'm gonna spread some goop. Window, weld. Spread that on the truck, and let's see. I cleaned the glass off. I still left urethane on it, a small bead or whatever, sliver. So we're gonna smush and then smush. Smush. Well, it's in. And I mean, it's not perfect, but it looks like, y'all know how messy silicone or whatever can get. Also, this is how you know you have a really great paint job, when blue tape pulls all your clear coat off, which is awesome. So I got some smush, a little overspray on the top. I kind of put a lot on the top part there. So this is tragic. Here, I was trying to smooth it with my finger, and it wound up just smushing it all out to the side. But maybe I can come back later and kind of peel that off. But I don't look that bad, I guess. As long as the summit doesn't leak, right? All right, things are happening. This will be the basic layout. 4-channel sub amp. One bridged to each side. So this one and 2 bridged to the mid, 3 and 4 bridged to the moofer. Same story here. 1,000 watts for the sub. I don't even think I'm gonna need a distro block, because the Titanate has all the distribution on it. Helix Mini running the show for now. Probably go with I have a Pro. I just need some things. Got all the wires run, zip tied, cleaned up, both sides. Had to take all the plastics out on that side to run them. And yeah, kind of got some of the junk out of here. Time to put the dash or the glove box back in, put the dash back together. Yeah, things are progressing. I know this is not a trick and custom amp rack like some of you guys. I don't have time to do all that noise. We'll pretty it up later. But right now, we're just trying to get old girl playing. She plays. It's happening. I don't even know what song this is. Whee! Damn, that's max volume. Well, I know it probably looks like midnight in this video, but I'm in the garage. It is noon, exactly noon on Thursday. and it's making noise. It's playing music. It's loud. It sounds pretty good. There's 0 EQ. I'm sitting in the back seat, actually. Sitting in the back seat. I'm just setting crossovers and level matching and whatnot. But yeah, we got lights and stuff, and it is playing. So that gives me, I don't know, less than a day. Well, yeah, like 10 or 12 hours to clean the summit up, button everything up, and tune it. But it's playing. It's playing. Yep, it was playing all right. Well, this picture you're seeing here, and the reason I'm showing pictures from here on out is because it was sort of a scramble, mad dash to get the truck back into one piece, all the interior in, and do some maintenance and whatnot to get ready to get on the road. So this view you're seeing right here was me just sort of enjoying it playing, sitting in the back seat, just doing some listening after setting crossovers and levels and stuff. And man, I'd have taken it just like this, but I checked and you have to have the seats in. So anyway, this is the rest of these pictures. Like I said, I was sort of a scramble, so I didn't take any video of all the putting it back together and whatnot. So you guys will just have to suffer through some pictures. I mentioned in the video that I wasn't going to need distribution, but I did wind up using distribution, and this was that $20 distro from Amazon everybody uses. This is sort of the way it wound up being, sort of the finished product there. T-spec for the fuses. I forget why I took this picture. I think it was because the new T-spec stuff sucks. That fuse block, don't get it. And this is it next to the one I actually wound up using, one of the old school. I say old school, the older ones. Yeah, the new ones, they're garbage. Digging through my drawer there, I have like this huge stack of 500 amp fuses from when I used to do fun shit. And this was sort of the underhood, sort of how it wound up. Super bank under the hood. And to get on the road, figured I'd do some maintenance. Had some belt squealing, some oil leaks. So I got a new gasket kit and all new belts. Just cleaning up the valve cover. And that is the valve train, looking pretty good for, I think the truck's got 170,000 miles on it. And all back together. This was interesting. The ashtray wouldn't close before I took the interior apart. I figured out why, because there was like, I don't know, 20 years worth of crap and junk stuck behind there, papers and whatnot. Had to go buy me a special, well, not special, but a really long bit. I'm sure all you guys have one of these already. I never did, but I had to go and buy one of those to get the amps mounted, because the access to the mounting feet are like, the thickness of the amp. And this made it official, putting the old hybrid audio keychain lanyard on the keychain. And this is decided to go get the truck kind of checked out, lifted up, change the oil, shake it down. There was a squeal in the brakes too. I wanted to just make sure the brakes were in good shape, but she was all good, man. Didn't even need brakes. It was just one of the pad covers had come loose or something, but yeah, all good. This right here is the one thing I hate about custom trunks and custom cargo areas, like with the really trick amp racks and all that stuff, is it renders them useless. Like you can't, like, I don't know, I guess in my daily life I think about being able to put groceries back there, or your suitcase, or the ice chest, most importantly. You kidding me? So I just fabbed this up. It's just a piece of scrap wood with a couple of 2x4s underneath, and then I just put a bunch of scrap carpet on top. I'm a genius. And this was it loaded down. well, not completely, but just tossing shit back there on top of the thing. And then went and picked up Bradley, and we got on the road, and here I am, posted up with the V, the SQRV at the show. And I'll do a little wrap up commentary for you guys at the end of this one. But I did just want to show you the measurements, because I know some of y'all might be interested in this. And if you don't know what you're looking at, the lines that are similar are the left channel and the right channel measured independently, and then the green on the left there is the sub, obviously, in mono. And honestly, for just setting crossovers and level matching by ear with literally zero EQ, this was actually really good. It sounded pretty good, but as you can see right there in the mid-range, man, it is hot through the meat of the vocals there. And it's probably something to do with the corner loading of the mids, but it didn't take a whole lot of EQ to tame these down. And so this was the before, and then this is the after. Really didn't take a whole ton of EQ, and I'll tell you, it's pretty good, but it doesn't really matter what I think. It matters what the judges think. So I'll turn you back over to Future T-Fade. Hey, Future Fade here, or present day Fade, whatever. So wrapping this up for this portion of Finding SQ, the build, the foundation, whatever you want to call it, is done. That is a wrap on basically part one, not an 8-part series of part one of the CRV. We got the thing to the show, and we were one of the first ones going on Saturday morning, and we had about an hour to get the thing dialed in for the first judge. So we got the thing dialed in. First judge got in the car, and the thing about a big show where you have multiple SQ judges is that you don't get a lot of feedback, because they don't want you to change things in between judges. So they don't, usually at a smaller show or singular judge show, they will give you a lot of verbal feedback, or some verbal feedback when they get out of the car. Hey, this was really good. Maybe you need to work on this. I like this part of it. This part needs a little work. Maybe you can try this, that kind of stuff. Just a couple of minutes of conversation with the judge. If you don't get that, hopefully they leave you some good notes on the score sheets. Well, at a big show or multiple judge shows, they don't give you any of that, because like I said, they don't want you fiddling with stuff in between judges. So I didn't get a lot of feedback. That's my one complaint about that show. That show was awesome. The cars there were insane. Some of the best in the world were there. Got some great demos, and my only negative for the show was that I didn't get a lot of feedback. I did get a couple of guys in the truck, but it's not like people were lined up wanting to hear it. Everybody really liked it. I think a couple of the comments I got was that I could probably use tweeters, which we may think about that down the road. Anyway, the IASCA judge got in first, and I have the IASCA score sheet here. I also competed in Mecca and Emma. Funny story though, the IASCA judge came in at, I want to say 9 in the morning. And the next judge to get in wasn't until like 2 in the afternoon. And if you've ever seen me at a show, we started having a little fun in between. So I don't know, 4 or 5 vodka monsters in, I decided I want to start fiddling with the truck. Just playing around, killing time, having fun, doing what we do. So anyway, don't drink and tune. It's a bad idea. Always a bad idea. Don't do that. Somehow or another, I left the sub off for the next two judges. So we're not even going to go over those scores, because the thing that stuck with me from the Mecha judge was he went from impressed to depressed. So I guess the mid-range and mid-bass were good, but when the sub was supposed to come in, not so much. So impressed to depressed. Appreciate that. Anyway, so drum roll, please. Here's the iASCA score sheet. The score sheet. This might be a little boring for some of y'all, but I'm going to run down it really quickly, or as quick as I can. 1 out of 1 for fusing. Fuse gang. 0 out of 1 for equipment secured, which I have no idea what that means. All my shit is bolted down. All right, here's the good stuff. Tonality, tonal accuracy. 16 out of 20 for sub bass. We did have the sub a little neutered, so that's easy. 17 out of 20 on mid bass. Mid bass is on point. 17 out of 20 on mid range. The mid range is pretty good, but maybe we can get it a little better. 18 out of 20 on high frequencies, which is fantastic, seeing as how I don't have tweeters. 17 out of 20 on spectral balance. So tonality, really good. Little room for improvement there, but overall really good. Soundstage, 10 out of 15 on listening position to stage. That needs improvement. I don't know. I'm not sure how I can do that. 12 out of 15 on width, 12 out of 15 on height, 7 out of 10 on depth, 7 out of 10 on ambiance. A lot of that is going to be cabin related, or size of the cabin type stuff. I'm not sure how much I can fix of that with the tune. Maybe tweeters can add some ambiance and some sense of space, which I'm open to exploring tweeters down the road. Imaging, where everything is placed, left, right, center. Perfect on the left side, 1 point shy on left of center, perfect on the center, perfect on right of center, and 1 point shy on the right side. So 2 points off perfect. My imaging is dialed in. That's awesome. 8 out of 10 linearity. 8 out of 10 on soft volume, like low volume listening. 8 out of 10 on moderate volume, which is probably like judging volume. 6 out of 10 on high volume. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I cannot get my systems loud enough. I'm always getting dinged on the higher listening volumes. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. I have a ton of headroom. I have plenty of headroom. I don't know what that is. I guess I had a little floor noise floor. Let's see. I have no mechanical noise because there's nothing mechanical in the car at all. A little environmental noise, and a 1 out of 3. A 1 out of 3 on system control. So I could probably do a little something about that. There's a couple points on the table there because I'm only using a high-res player, a digital audio player, and it's probably a little too small. It's kind of fiddly. You got to hold it in your hand. I don't know. I could probably do something about that. That's easy. Anyway, overall, 209 points for the debut of the SQRV, and I am actually very pleased with that score because that score put me right in the ranks with some heavy hitters. The scores should be, usually they're pretty good across different shows, but if you use the scores at the same show as a reference, it'll give you a really good idea where you're sitting. And a 209 put me right there with some heavy hitters, some big names, some really great cars. Anyway, 209, stoked about it. Obvious room for improvement, but a great start for the CRV, and I think it can only get better from here. So appreciate you guys tuning in to part 1. Let's get this thing better. Let's do some fun shit. What time is it?
Monster time.